Alrighty, got my first match of the 2021 championships here. This is week 2, but I had a bye week 1. About to play sideburns for, I think it's the round of 256. They have expressed some interest in voice chat, so I'll see if they join me. Alright, looks like they have not ended up joining, so I suppose we'll be discussing strategy after all. Certainly I've got nothing against nice friendly trash talking to the opponent directly during the match. That's always fun. Anyways, what do we got here? The key thing that sticks out to me is there's no trashing. There's Way of the Squirrel and no discard attacks, so Squirrel Draw is particularly good. Squirrel with Sheepdog looks good. You can activate Sheepdog during the buy phase just by buying stuff, and then, whereas normally that's not great because you're drawing stuff dead, you do the Sheepdog as Squirrel instead, and then you draw applies the next turn. Squirrel also seems kind of nice versus Old Witch, because with larger starting hands, you are more likely to have a curse in hand for the Old Witch to trash. Anything else important? There's plenty of plus buy, Barge Market, Ducat, Tragic Hero. That makes getting Wayfarers easy. Villages or Fortress or Inn. Inn looks not so bad here just because there's a bunch of junk to sift through. Old Witch will probably matter because there's no trashing, but like I said, I think it's actually less significant than it looks like, because I think if played properly, the Squirrel stuff will probably do a decent number on Old Witch in the long term. So what are we doing? Kind of inclined to say, I still want the first 5 to be Old Witch, I'm pretty sure. So I'm thinking like just Sheepdog Silver, and then pick up something like Old Witch Ducat or Old Witch Fortress on turn 3, turn 4. I think I want plus buy soonish rather than later, because taking Wayfarers for like cheap is good, and plus buy means you can buy like a cheap card and then Wayfarer. What else? Guide looks bad because you're gonna have a huge starting hand from Way of the Squirrel, and you're not gonna want to call a guide and turn that into a 5-card hand. I don't want the silver all that badly, but I think we'll live. I do want to hit 5 all that badly, and silver seems like the best way to do that. They just have the 5-2, which is better. I would think I would probably just open Old Witch nothing rather than taking a Ducat in a context where I can't trash a copper with it. But Old Witch Ducat's not bad. Old Witch's first 5 looks pretty clear to me. Like I said, even if you can get rid of the curses in the long term, the short term effect is still substantial. They went with Barge, which seems inferior, but I mean, it's not a bad card. So I've got 4 here. Provided my Sheepdog does not bottom deck along with a copper, I'll hit 5 next turn. So this could be, I think it's either Fortress or Ducat. Fortress is nice if stuff collides. Ducat's nice because I'm gonna need plus buy soon-ish. I mean, it could be another Sheepdog even, to be honest. They're really good here. I think I would Ducat though. I think plus buy seems important to me. I want to get to the point where I'm buying 2 things per turn because there's cheap cards here that I value. Mostly the Sheepdogs. Take the Old Witch now. Yeah, so like, Fortress here would help, of course, because I could play them both this turn. But even without that, I think this collision is not bad because I can still squirrel the Sheepdog, and that is a-okay. Finding Old Witch at the top of the shuffle is really good because I'm going to trigger a shuffle here, and that Old Witch is going right back into the shuffle. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Sideburns, don't do that. Someone even said that in the chat. St. Carl's Street Carlso. I'm sorry, I don't know how to pronounce your name, but they did warn him. They said, don't buy gold. Dog, what are you into? Do I want a second Old Witch? Let's see. Not sure. Those bottom 5 cards are 4 coppers and no, 3 coppers, a ducat, and an estate. But I'll have a 7-card hand. So I think if I buy another terminal, it's reasonably likely to collide with the Old Witch the turn after next. So maybe this is just in now. See how that goes. Squirrel, shuffle that in. This is a good draw. I mean, aside from not getting the 5-2, I think I've had pretty good draws here for the next few turns. Draw Sheepdog, please. Thank you. Oh, I can actually draw now if I want to. What are those bottom cards? I discarded a copper and an estate. It's a copper and an estate as well. So if I squirrel the Sheepdog, I got 6 or 7 in 2 buys. If I play on, I've got 7 or 8 in 2 buys. I think drawing 1 sounds a little better to me. 8 sounds better than 7. And oh, Sheepdog also does nice versus Old Witch, because if they curse you, you can activate the Sheepdogs immediately. And maybe draw back around to them and play them like a second time on the same turn. So that seems really nice. I think 1 Old Witch is probably enough for me. I think now I want maybe Barge for plus buy. Stop doing that. That's... I mean, I shouldn't complain because it helps me, but man. There's so many incredibly strong 5s here. Buying gold over any of these really is just, it's an insult to this kingdom. Even if for some reason you wanted the gold, you could like buy a tragic hero and then pop it, and then you got a gold, but you also got a turn's worth of free draw and a buy out of it, and you guarantee your gold bottom decks, which is where you would naturally want it to be. Oh, look at this beautiful turn. The bottom cards are 2 estates. How important is it that I take this off the top? Probably not super much, actually. So I could buy like Wayfarer, Sheepdog in, Top Deck and in, and then I can cycle through the estates. That sounds pretty good. Wayfarer, Squirrel, Sheepdog in, Top Deck, all of that. I'm not sure if I ever want Tragic Heroes. Like, on the one hand, it's a really easy way to add payload. It's gold for 5 and much more palatable because you get the draw immediately on the gold at the end of the turn. But at the same time, I could just get silvers like totally free off of Wayfarer and not even bother buying heroes at all. It seems pretty good. Plus, I didn't even think about this, but Wayfarer activates Sheepdog too. That's nifty. Go, doggies, go. All right. So those bottom cards are just estates and a curse. So I guess I have to draw it anyway because I'm playing my old witch. I guess actually, oh, there was a silver down there. There's a silver down there. I could have considered just squirreling the old witch, actually. I didn't have to attack him. In fact, the attack seems not to have done much because he just blocked it. So I could draw the silver. I don't think I need the money. I want more plus buy now. I've got a barge down, which will give me more plus buy next turn already. But maybe I want a second barge for the following turn. So I could play the sheepdog, draw the silver. I would have 10. Could do like Wayfarer, Market, Barge. Can I play all that? I got 1, 2, 3 villages. I would be wanting to play Barge, Wayfarer. Yeah, that seems doable. I'll just draw the silver. Oh, that was dumb. I thought I had 3 buys. That was just me being really dumb, wasn't it? Whoopsie daisy. You know what it was? The previous turn I'd played my barge normally and I had 3 buys. And I think I just assumed, oh, I have the same amount of buys that I had last turn. But this turn I durationed my barge, so I only had 2 buys. That was a rather voluntary error. Well, so much for this turn. I think I can live. There's also a serious risk I dudded there, but I managed to draw the N. Cane silver, sheepdogs go. I think I just want to squirrel that one. I don't think I need to trigger this shuffle. There's like a silver down there, but also a bunch of junk. I'll just squirrel Wayfarer. That's true, he's blocking my old witch. I guess, to be fair, he's got what, like a bunch, 3 curses in his deck? So what do I want now? I failed in my mission to acquire additional plus buy last turn. I was planning to buy the market and then didn't. So maybe I should get that this turn. Could do Wayfarer in market. Actually, or maybe I'll just do, I don't need, it's like an in or 2 is fine because there's junk to sift through. But Honestly, now that I've got like sheepdogs and barges and such, I don't need the reliability of like being able to sift through junk. So I think Fortress is just a better village than Inn from here on out. Inn, of course, is draw negative because you discard, whereas Fortress is draw neutral. All right. So I'm going to want more sheepdogs soon, I think, because I want to always have a curse in my hand to block his old witch. Also, just sheepdogs generally very good, in this kingdom at least. I'm pretty sure this game's already well over. I think the gold buys just kind of killed any chance they had of acquiring deck control in a timely manner. Oh no, it's not province time. Don't. The game is still young. There's so many piles left that are almost full. And only one pile that is close to empty. I don't think there's any pile threats. There's no need to province this early. I want more. I think I can take more silvers. What's that bottom card? Probably a silver, I would think. Do I want a silver? I don't think so. I'll leave it there. Okay, so maybe like 3 sheepdogs and a market. That sounds pretty good. Got the curse on top, that's good. Oh, I guess it doesn't matter because you did not find the little witch. Yeah, so I think he blocked almost every old witch attack. He's got what, like 2 curses left in his deck or something? Let's see, there's 6 in the trash. I think I've only got 1 curse. Maybe he's got 3 curses left. Yeah, I'll scroll the rest. I should probably be counting more closely, like how many sheepdogs I need to draw to the end of my deck versus how many I should squirrel. But I haven't been doing that. Okay, we got 5 buys. What about double province, triple sheepdog? That seems okay, right? And I'm pretty sure now if he touches provinces, I'm just piling out all the provinces next turn. Actually, probably even if he doesn't touch provinces, right? Like I just had 24 or whatever money last turn. I've got coffers, and I can get additional silvers off of these wayfarers. I'm pretty sure even if he didn't take provinces, I would just take all 4 of them. Unless, of course, I dud or something. But I think my, 11 card starting hand should be enough to prevent that. One would hope. Oh, 14 cards. Forgot about the barge. Can never be too careful. Gain a silver. So I'm just going to draw with all of these because there's not going to be a next turn, including the barge. Oh, well, I sure hope this is enough money because it looks like I am dudding after all. Didn't quite make it to the end of the deck. Looks like it'll be plenty. Dissolve all these sheepdogs. I got a bit of lag at the moment, which is annoying. GG. All right, 1-0. I was player 2. So I'm going to be player 1 in this next game. I think that he's confused because it says 1 for me and then 2 for him here. But that's just saying I was first and he was second. Okay, Old Witch again. So we've got Academy is a great village. Diplomat's kind of an unreliable village. Lost City's a good village. Not really trashing. I mean, Jack of all trades, kinda. Turns your estate so it curses into silvers, but it doesn't get you thin. There is, conceivably, if you uncover it, Dame Anna. That might be a really significant knight to get here, because getting rid of coppers looks nice. So another Old Witch and no real trashing kingdom. This one has a lot less in the way of things to make your deck reliable, though, like Barge and Way of the Squirrel. So this one looks more dud prone to me. I presume you still want to just click Old Witch Bunch and Lost City and Academy. There is plus buy with Skulk. If Sir Martin were the only plus buy, that'd be kind of awkward, because like you really don't want to open Sir Martin. But maybe you'd have to snag the plus buy, and you could sheep it for a while. But if they take Sir Martin, I don't think that's actually an issue here, because you could just get Skulk for plus buy later. So, again, I feel like my goal is hitting 5. I want to get Old Witch, I want to get Academy. Both of those seem important. I don't want silvers particularly much. Probably gonna need to get a Jack of all trades to like turn the estates into silvers anyway, which will be a decent source of economy in its own right. Maybe something like Jack Courtyard. That'll be awkward if my first 5 is Old Witch, because then I'm super over terminaled. I mean, I could do like Jack Courtyard, then Academy, and then go from there. I mean, I could also just buy silver like last game, like Courtyard silver or something, and then the Old Witch looks more desirable. Courtyard silver, I think, is pretty likely to hit 5-4, right? If you see Courtyard turn 3, you're guaranteed to hit 5-4. More or less. I think that's exact. Yeah, I think I'll just do Courtyard silver. Actually, there's a chance to hit double 5s here, actually, because Courtyard could be sheeped, and so in some lines, maybe there's a possibility of you hitting 5 twice. If you do like 5 coppers to turn 3, and then Courtyard silver copper turn 4, for example. Skulk I'm not a fan of that opening. It has the potential to be annoying, though. Like, I feel like Skulk is usually not a very strong opening because it's adding a lot of stop cards to the deck. But then every once in a while, they'll, like, pull it turn 3 and have some incredible hex where they, like, trash your Old Witch or something. Like, I think it was just yesterday, I had a game where I opened, like, Ambassador Recruiter, and then they opened Skulk, a kingdom where they could have opened Ambassador and Recruiter, and then they got Famine, and it flipped both the Recruiter and the Ambassador. That was painful. And I said I'm just getting silvery. I mean, I guess No, I'm not going to talk myself into a Skulk. The Skulk is less bad with Way of the Sheep, for sure. Oh, wait. I confused myself. I thought that was my turn 2 buy. I've already bought my silver. Oh, well, buying a second silver just seems silly. Oh, well. Alright, we're making silly errors today. So given this shuffle, I actually think I'm really likely to buy Academy here. So down there I've got Silver Estate, 3 coppers. So I think I'm really likely to hit 5 there. Right? Unless I bottom deck the silver. So I think I can buy Academy now and then Old Witch on the following turn and still be fine. The knights seem kind of awkward. Like, on the one hand, you know, Sir Martin in this kingdom isn't the worst one to have, actually, because +2 buy looks not bad with a bunch of cheap actions around. On the other hand, just touching the knights and potentially uncovering Dame Anna for your opponent looks super risky. So I think I'm either going to take Skulk or Sir Martin now, because I think it's about time that I get plus buy in my deck. Not sure which is better. Oh, well, that changes things. They gave me a lost. They bought a lost city, so they gave me an extra draw. So in that case, second Old Witch, a lost city of my own. I think I like Lost City. Oh, well, I was thinking I was going to have the Old Witch in this hand, and I was going to play it, then play Courtyard, and hopefully like put the Lost City on top for the next turn. I'll still get to play my Old Witch, but I'm not going to have the flexibility of choosing what to top deck with Courtyard. So there are some risks that I draw it dead. I didn't. That's good. Okay, I need plus buy now. It seems like I got plenty of money, so I don't think I want the gold. I'm going to go with Sir Martin. Dang it! Well, okay, well, that's bad. Please don't have 5 in hand. Even if they don't have 5, this isn't looking like a hand that's likely to hit 5 for me either. That's not good. Okay, yeah, I'm suddenly in a lot of trouble. So I guess I should go heavily for the knights now, and hopefully one of my knights can collide with Dame Anna. That was unlucky. Maybe it was my fault. Maybe that was unnecessarily risky buying Sir Martin there. But it looked better than the Skulk at the time. I had plenty of money and 0 buys, so +2 buys looked real enticing. So what are these cards down there? I think I've got... please stop attacking. I wish that would have been the other order. I think I've got Sir Martin, but no other draw. So I think I want to do Courtyard before Old Witch, so I don't trigger a shuffle. And then all that stuff goes back into the thing. Why are you providencing already? Because if I do Old Witch first and then Courtyard, the Courtyard triggers a shuffle, which I think I don't want. Trashing that Old Witch is nice. Take a patron, not a patron, a patrician for the villager mostly. And Sir Michael, I guess. We are on a mission to kill Dame Anna. That's the goal. Uh-oh. There it is. Well, trashing a silver. Thank you, I guess. I don't need the silver all that much at this point. I'll attack with this one, and I think it might be better just to sheep this one. I mean, I'm passing up on an attack, but I don't need the plus buy. And hitting 5 does look nice. I presume they will replace their old witch, because it died. But I could see Dame Sylvia or Lost City as well. Playing it a little greedy with actions, I think. Relying on Academy. I mean, Academy is often just infinite villages. That's not quite true here. You're not picking up enough actions for that to be, you know, ow! That's not good right there. What just happened? I need to get that thing out of his deck ASAP. Oh, I've put myself in a bad mess. So I want to play Sir Michael before the Old Witches, so that if he has a curse in hand, he's more likely to discard it. Okay, so he didn't discard it. But that's because he didn't have one. I guess I should take a Jack of all trades to clean up my deck, because Dame Anna's out of the question, and I've got a lot of junk in it. He never got Academy at any point, which seems like a pretty big mistake. Because I think by other accounts, he would seem to be in the lead. He got Dame Anna, he's already trashed, he's killed my Lost City. But he doesn't have the villages. I really don't think early greening is the way to go. The province just seems like a huge error. There's enough to build with. There's knights, which would do a real number in a deck that didn't build enough. And there's some alt VP with Emporium. So I think if he continues down this road of buying provinces, that is going to be bad. Well, good for me, I guess, but not for him. What did he end up trashing between the gold and the old witch? He killed the old witch? That can't be right. Uh-oh. Okay, that's fine. You can do that. Well, I mean, the trashing silver is a happy thing, but the fact that they got to kill a curse in an estate is obviously really bad for me. Their deck is so much thinner. So much thinner. Does Envious hurt? I don't know. I've lost most of my silvers. Haven't I? Do I even have a gold in my deck? I don't think I have a gold in my deck. God, my deck is so junky. So I already know he doesn't have a curse, so I think I can just play this Old Witch now. Put something useless on top so Jack can discard it. So he's killed both of his Old Witches. I have no idea if he's getting any additional ones. So I think it makes more sense for me to just go ahead and trash curses rather than estates, since I mean, the rationale for trashing estates would be, of course, curses can be trashed by the opponent's Old Witch, but he's not exactly playing Old Witch a whole bunch. Do I need to play Sir Martin? Wow, oh, Sir Michael, that's not what you're supposed to do. Jesus. Sifting through 2 of their curses is not good. I think I value this villager too much, right? Playing Sir Martin doesn't get me anything of value. Sheeping it doesn't help. I'm not buying province. The plus buy isn't useful. We're just going to take more lost cities because I need the actions now. Yeah, flipping Dame Anna definitely was a really, really big problem. My deck is just utterly full of junk. And they've trashed a decent bit, haven't they? Yeah, they've trashed a decent number of their starting cards and curses. I mean, I think this game is potentially going to go long enough for me to fix my deck, but they should stop. Okay, well, if they keep buying provinces, I've got a shot at this thing. Like, eventually I'll convert all the curses and estates into silver, so jack of all trades. One at a time, slowly but surely. And then I'll just keep clicking on draw cards for the most part. And at some point this deck's going to come together. And then if they keep greening the way they are, I'll probably end up going heavily for the knights. And just try to destroy their deck. Didn't they trash their junk? How do I keep flipping all their junk cards? Your deck's supposed to be thin, and that means it should have valuable things in it for me to trash. So I think Lost City is going to empty. I mean, I got to click those because my deck is otherwise very... Damn it, stop! My deck is full of junk. Why can't I reveal 2 curses or 2 coppers or whatever? Oof. Well, Old Witch is probably worse now, but now that curses are out. Yeah. Not only did it trash my Old Witch, but it also discarded my Lost City. That also hurts a bit, even if less than the trashing part. Put some junk on the top and then discard it. Did not get to my plus buy card, which is a bummer. Didn't get to the discard attack either. Bottom deck both of the knights. This is a lot of good cards to have on the bottom. Yeah, I think that there's a real risk I lose this game. Anna was the big thing, but also I think just some of the stuff not working out in various small ways as well. Two coppers on top is not ideal. I suppose it could have been worse. Emporium, that's not bad. I mean, it annoys me because I want to buy a bunch of lost cities, and then if I buy a bunch of lost cities, then he buys a bunch of emporiums. Well, that's 3 piles, and I've certainly got a bit of a points deficit at the moment. So lowering emporiums seems reasonable. A bit late there, Sir Michael. I guess it's still better late than never. At this point, I do kind of value the discard attack, though. If those two had collided like 10 turns ago, whenever I initially got Sir Michael, I would have been much happier. Ay. I still need actions. These shuffles are working out awkwardly. So that was like kind of a nothing turn. And this is probably a bigger turn, I would expect. But my plus buy card is now my discard. So I've got to draw all the way back to Sir Martin for this turn to be worth anything. I'm not sure if I have that much draw. I might not. Yeah, I think I'm not going to be in time. I don't think I'm going to touch the last lost city, and even if I trash enough that he can't hit 8 reliably, he might just start taking Emporiums. And that also causes me troubles. That was probably a bad time to play Patrician, wasn't it? I think I had more cards that are cost 5 or more in my discard. I'm not sure about that. Okay, so we are very likely to find Sir Martin here. Please don't be the bottom card, please. Please, thank you. that would have been heartbreaking. Okay, so now I've got to start attacking. Man, Sir Vander looks so terrible. I don't want Sir Vander. I do not want Sir Vander at all. I guess I'd take a Skulk. Then I don't want another one of these scenarios where Sir Martin might be on the bottom of my deck and then I have no plus buy. That does not hurt so much. I don't think I need to draw back through my deck or anything. So discarding 1 money isn't so bad. I'm going to lose this game though. There's only 2 cards left in those last 2 piles. Revealing Anna there was just an existential risk and maybe not worth taking Sir Martin. I mean, like, if I take Sir Martin and then don't reveal Dame Anna, well, now the foot's in the other shoe, because they either give me uncontested knights or potential reveal Dame Anna themselves. But as it so happened, it did not work out that way. So here I just gotta start provincing. I don't think it's gonna be enough, but I gotta try at least. Top deck a junk card. Trash other junk card. Please hit something good, pretty please. That's not what I asked for. That's not really good either. I mean, I guess with the way the sheep around, trashing Skulk is probably better than not trashing at the very least, but how much do I have here? I've got 17 money, is that right? Yeah, I got 17 money. So I could just buy double province. I could sheep the Skulk, which would let me buy a courtyard. I don't know if that's better than nothing. I mean, it's villager neutral if I do that, because I'm getting a villager back from the courtyard. I could also just attack with this. I think I should probably attack. If I get like Envious or something that maybe prevents them from hitting 5 and buys me 1 more turn, that could be really significant. Did not get Envious. Well, I guess I got Envious in the sense that I envied the hex that I didn't get. Alright, so I need to have another full turn. I need them to have a dud, and then maybe I've got a shot. Don't know how likely any of that is. Well, it's not looking super likely. Hmm. Okay, well that's not good. Even if I manage to double province here, they could still potentially take a tie. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Don't trash a curse. No, no, no. Okay, well now, even if I double province, they can just win. So I gotta do more than double here somehow. Can my deck do more than double? I don't think my deck can do more than double. So I should probably not trash this estate at this point. So I think I'm just gonna top deck it and play the jack to sift through it. I can make that decision later. I've got another courtyard. Or maybe I shouldn't have made it later. Maybe discarding early was key to not dud there. Well, discard province. I'm not gonna trash. I think every last point probably matters here. Okay, so now we're going to attack. Trashed an Emporium. Attack. That's not helpful. I got 8, 13. That's not enough. I'm going to attack him. Envious, please. Oh, that's even better. Well, thank you. Okay, I will take diluted. That's the only... Actually guarantees I can't buy Lost City. I'm happy about that one. Keeping the dream alive. Do I have a chance? Do I have some chance of winning this? Oh. Come on, dud, please. Uh-oh. That's not good. That's quite bad. Yeah, I think it's pretty good it's by province there. All of a sudden, my odds are looking bad again. And my villager situation is starting to look dicey too. Because I'm pretty sure my deck is a bit over-terminaled. And only making that up via these villagers that are now dwindling. I think it's probably better to top deck this Lost City. The chance that it draws me a useful card and then continues my turn seems really low. Because like if I top deck another card, the Lost City is functionally drawing 1, because I have to draw back through whatever junk card I top decked. I mean, maybe I just have to go for it, because like what are the chances they miss 5? Yeah, I guess I have to try. Alright, come on, come on, keep going. Oh, can I undo that? I want to put a province on top. The plan is to play the jack and discard the province to hopefully get back through. I mean, if... I don't know why they wouldn't grant this, because like it's no information, but like if they don't grant it for some reason, I'll just discard the copper. The 1 money probably doesn't matter very much. Did they say that? No, they didn't say that. This I remember. They were asking, like, hey, how do you feel about undos? And I was like, well, I'm fine with undos for whatever. I don't think they ever gave an indication that they plan to be sticklers about undos. So, oh, that trashing of a curse hurt, doesn't it? I missed... Sir Martin, which seems significant here. Because one more plus buy could matter a lot. And, well, this is why the trashing of the curse hurts. Because if they hadn't trashed that curse, I could do Providence Duchy, and that would be a win. Silk Road's got to be worse than Duchy, right? Yeah, there's no way I've got like 16 victory cards. I am player 1, so I can't take a tie. Ha 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 ha. Just double check, but I don't think there's a win here that I'm missing. Yeah, I think I'm dead in the water. I mean, unless they miss 5 next turn. But I think the best I can do here is double Duchy. That's not good. This is how that other turn started too. Lost City, Patrician, Patrician reveals Lost City. That is a harbinger of ill fortune. Again, they only have to hit 5 here to win, because they'd have to buy the Lost City. They still got a points lead. So at this point, it seems basically guaranteed that they have that. Surely they've got 5 in hand at this point, right? Maybe they don't notice the Lost City? No, they did notice it. Maybe their deck was just that devoid of money. They did have to keep trying. GG. Ay. Yeah, that day mana thing was certainly a doozy. Alrighty, game 3. Well, this almost looks fun, but there's no draw. I mean, there's also no 5-cost actions. Oh, there's Bustling Village, I guess, technically, if that gets revealed. Man, with a slightly different set of cards, this kingdom would be very explosive. For some reason, Venture's art is not showing up for me. That's weird. So, what are we doing? Is this 3 kingdoms straight with no real trashing? I'm pretty sure the only like actual trasher in 3 total kingdoms has been Day Mana from last game. Ay. And on top of no trashing, there's no draw, so we're certainly not building anything of note here. So it looks money-ish. I think I want to hit 10 for Alliance if possible, because, I mean, in money context, Alliance isn't so bad, but also getting coppers looks nice. It seems like a good way to get Fountain is if I can Alliance thrice, and then I don't have to ever worry about gaining a copper myself. So, what works here? Idle might not be bad. I mean, the curses kind of hurt, since there's no ability to trash anything. Monument might matter. I don't know how significant Monument realistically is. It's a few points, but I think Alliance and Fountain make this a relatively high-scoring game. Procession looks bad here to me, just because, well, both because there's no good 5s to proc your 4s into, but also because there's no real deck control to guarantee they line up. I think I will try to go for Idols, see if I can give out some curses. I do want an Inventor very soon. I think if I'm not opening Idol, the other option that seems also very desirable is opening with an Inventor. But I'll probably hit 4 next shuffle and get 1 then. This is not the hand you want to see Settlers in. And this hand is just a cantrip, and the next hand it would be like a peddler. Well, I hit 5. Is Idle still better than Venture? I mean, was Idle ever better than, or not Venture? Is Idle still better than Inventor? And was it ever, or was that just a mistake on my part? I still think I'm going to keep on this Idle train. If I collide them even once, giving a curse out looks pretty good. But it seems very realistically likely that Inventor could be better here. Both of the villages honestly look weirdly not bad for a kingdom where you wouldn't really need villages. If you got like a super junky deck, then Mountain Village towards the bottom of a shuffle is nice because it gives you a lot of flexibility in what to choose. And then Mining Village could help you spike big numbers like 10 for Alliance. Allowed to get Earth's Gift here. Okay, so I've got 4 cards left down there. I kind of want the Settlers to activate. So maybe I should leave 1 copper on top. Does that make sense? Those bottom 4 cards are an estate, 2 coppers, and what? A second Settlers? So if I leave Settler's copper on top, I pick up a copper and then trigger a shuffle. Which might be, that sounds good because it means my idols are likely to collide. If I leave Settlers and 2 coppers on top, and provided I don't bottom deck the other Settlers, I would draw 2 coppers and then I would hit 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I don't need to hit a big number. I think I'm going to do it this way. Like if I left 1 more copper on top, both Settlers would successfully pick up a copper. Doing it this way, the second one is going to trigger a shuffle. But I think I value triggering that shuffle more than I value hitting a price point that's 1 higher here. Mountain Village, okay. I can take Inventor now. And we get to give out a curse. I'm still unsure how much these idols matter. And top deck Inventor, I suppose. I certainly do not want to top deck the Settlers. They're better on the bottom. I think I want just a decent number of Inventors and Mountain Villages. The Mountain Villages both help me find the Inventors more often and also line up these idols. I think for the moment I'm going to take a second Inventor rather than a Mountain Village, though. I don't like this kingdom. This kingdom's kind of boring. But we'll work with what we got. So he's also going for idols. Those will run out. Curses might run. I don't see an imminent third pile that's a big threat, but you know, conceivably Mountain Village or Inventors could become an issue. This hand's not so bad. The Settlers is doing nothing, but I'm triggering a shuffle, and that's causing 2 estates to miss the shuffle, which seems probably a good thing. On the whole, I suppose the downside of Mountain Village is if you're at the top of your shuffle and they curse you on the previous turn, your Mountain Village, instead of actually drawing anything, just picks up the curse. And that is potentially bad, of course. Okay, so I've hit 6. Not the most useful number. I still want Inventors and Mountain Villages. This could just be 1 more of those. Is Venture any good? Venture's not bad. I mean, it's likely to hit a copper, in which case it's a silver. but it could find idols, in which case it's a gold. And that potentially helps you line up idols. I mean, I could always buy gold directly. This kingdom is the type where you might actually consider that. The venture still seems better to me, I think. Even if its artwork is, for some reason, mysteriously blank. Oh! It showed up! If I right-click it, I can see the art. It doesn't show up in the kingdom view. It doesn't show up in the standard view. My only two terminals colliding here is a little bit sad. Do not like that one bit. I don't know where I stand in this game. I mean, they've got more mountain villages, which is good. They've got some points built up from from monument, which is good. I think I've given out a decent bit more curses, which is good for me. Hard for me to say if I'm in the lead or not. They get 8. I guess you buy province here. I mean, it's not a kingdom where you actually really want to build all that badly. But again, I'm really shooting to hit 10, I think. 10 looks a lot better to me than 8. How many curses have I gotten? Let's find out. Oh, I'm not winning the split so much. It's only 4-3 on curses. That's not super significant. And I am behind on provinces, which is not excellent. I should probably not be touching mountain villages anymore in that case because, well, a 3-pile ending does not help me. Take mining village. And with any luck, spike 10 somehow. Yeah, so the mountain village pile is getting low. I should probably be thinking about taking early fountain points, like inventing coppers even, because this pile out problem of mountain village curse is a real one. So I got 5 money in hand. If I add a mountain village, that's 7 money. If I pop it, plus whatever I draw. That likelihood I hit 10 off of that still seems pretty low. I'd have to draw 3 money, which I think is only happening if I draw like venture and hit idle or get a good boon or something like that. The alternative is taking Inventor, which could allow me to gain a Duchy, which might be worth it. I could, like, gain Copper, gain Duchy. The high roll of hitting 10 is so nice, but I feel like it's realistically pretty unlikely. So I'm just going to take the Inventor, I think. That's not a good boon. I was really hoping for one of the money boons, like Field or Forest, so I could afford Province. But it did not come to pass. Okay, so he's going for Fountain Points too. That makes sense to me. I keep missing province by 1. I don't like that that's happening. So he's now got all of his coppers. I need to get 2 more coppers to hit 15, in which case I'm still behind by 5 points. He's lowering mountain villages, which does look dangerous, real dangerous. I don't think I can realistically avoid giving out a curse here. I might have to, like, deliberately not give away a curse if he buys mountain village. That would be a pain. Yep. Well, that's good. But I do seem to be in hot water here. We gotta take a copper. Alright, well, that's the game. This kingdom was kind of awful, and I missed 8 a few key points. But I think I might have made a mistake in the opening there. Like, I had 2-5, and I think maybe I should have just considered opening Inventor anyway. There's a very real chance that the idle opening was just worse. GG. Alrighty, game 4. Please something that trashes. This is close enough. So there's no way whatsoever to trash your estates. It is annoying because there's menagerie, which will get tripped up on your estates. The more I look at this, I hate this kingdom too. Oh, what is going on in this match? These kingdoms are just kind of terrible. There's no village. There's no estate trashing. It's just money. I mean, just like slightly different order of things, and I would have much grander ambitions of doing stuff with menagerie. Like, even without the ability to trash estates, if I could just discard estates reliably, like play embassy and put the estates in the discard, that would be enough. But you can't do that here. You'd have to play a sculptor first, which means at best you're playing like an embassy every other turn. Or sculpting a treasure every single turn. That's gross. And like the money cards here are fine. Sculptor, Wayfarer, Embassy, all those are decent big money cards. I don't like this game. I don't. Oh my. So, I could open province. I got 7. I could borrow. Turn 1 province looks. Well, it looks bad. Looks real bad. So next turn I've got 2. Is Lurker better than nothing? I don't know. Just want to re-roll this. So I could borrow and open with a sculptor. I could take a spice merchant. I could play the cursed gold, and then what? That doesn't go anywhere. Yeah, so I think it's sculptor or spice merchant here, and then not sure what comes after that. Sculptor seems better. I don't think we're gonna try to do anything particularly fancy here. I think just a few sculptors, bank up some villagers, add a terminal draw card or 2 at some point, and that's about it. I think I will take a lurker. Either it prompts them to get 1, or it gains me like a free sculptor every other play. I'm not sure if that's worth it. Alright, here I could sculpt a ducat, trash the copper, buy nothing, just save up a coffer. I could buy copper wayfarer, that has some appeal as well. I could sculpt silver, buy ducat. That seems worse to me. I think I like sculpting ducat. And I think a copper and a wayfarer is better than nothing here. I probably want a spice merchant at some point. Killing this cursed gold looks really appealing to me. Because I don't think I have any plans of playing it. Alright, they took lurker. Fair enough. I could take Spice Merchant here. Alternatively, I could borrow for Sculptor. I think I like the idea of borrowing for Sculptor better. And then I can gain the Spice Merchant as needed off of a Sculptor at an opportune time. Is there anything I can trash with this Lurker? I feel like a second Lurker is probably worse than nothing for the deck. So maybe I trash a Lurker and see if he takes it. Okay, then we'll change of plans. There's now an embassy in the trash, which I guess I'm not picking up. Embassy's better than nothing here. There's a lot of junk to sift through. I mean, it's got a little bit of an issue with, like, I've already got a Wayfarer, which is terminal. But 2 terminal draw cards seems like a totally fine amount to have. I think that makes me maybe want to actually buy Spice Merchant here instead. Because now I've got more terminals in my deck. And so I don't want to terminally Sculptor gain a Spice Merchant. I want to use my Sculptor gaining villagers. Taking a curse to gain a yellow curse. I guess if you want curses, it's highly efficient. Now here we will trash a Lurker. The trap has been laid. I do not think I want another Wayfarer here, as I already have a bunch of draw cards, which are apparently all in the very bottom of my deck. That's a little bit disappointing. Menagerie. I'll do it. Menagerie has a way of activating at times and places it really has no business doing so. And so we're going to hope that happens here. I think I'm playing both the Embassy and the Wayfarer. I draw 8 cards. Probably 10 cards if I find my Spice Merchant, or 11 actually if I find my Menagerie as well. So then I can play the Sculptor at the end of the turn and regain a villager. And I do believe I will be taking the free silvers every time off of Wayfarer. I am not aspiring to maintain deck control. Gain silver. They have not taken the Lurker from the trash. So I'll just discard it here, I guess. And just a silver, I suppose. One more Sculptor and then Province time. I've got my next three cards I think are actually quite good. Okay, well not quite as good as I thought. It was Spice Merchant, Curse Gold, Menagerie. And Spice Merchant and Curse Gold being in the same hand seems great because I want to trash the Curse Gold. And then Menagerie being there seemed great because it seemed really likely to activate if I knew that it was already next to two cards which I have no other copies of in my deck. But as it so happens, I have drawn two silvers. So this Menagerie shall fail to activate. I mean, I could trash silver with Spice Merchant in an attempt to activate it, but I don't think that's worth doing. Oh, they're not taking the bait. They don't want lurkers. They're putting more lurkers in the trash. Well, it was worth a shot. Well, I'm going to be out of villagers here. But oh, actually, I guess it's not worth drawing on with Embassy, because I'll just draw my other Sculptor dead, won't I? So I think I'm not playing Embassy, actually. And do I value +1 card more than +1 coffer? I think I want Province here. And I think I'd rather spend a coffer for it than borrow. My default assumption is that drawing a card is better than having one extra coffer. Another Sculptor. This hand is ugly. I don't like this hand. Alright, well, it seems likely that I'll be able to province again here. I sure hope my Wayfarer does not draw my Embassy. I would really like to be able to build up some villagers. That gives you more flexibility towards the end there. Maybe you need to sculpt an estate, or something like sculpting a Wayfarer, or what have you. Just in general, I like to have villagers. And I will have fewer of those if I keep colliding my terminal draw cards. I think I'm in a pretty good position, though. Sculptor just seems like a much better payload card to me than gold does. Also, he has no draw cards, right? I mean, he's got a Menagerie. Sigh. Embassy, you are not cooperating. Okay, so we're taking a silver. I guess a ducat. And another silver. I think I'm willing to spend one coffer for a Menagerie. Not sure about that. Alright, Menagerie, I'm putting my faith in you. Hands where I have no terminal action cards, a little disappointing to see. Because, even if I don't have the Wayfarer or the Embassy in hand, I'd like to see a Sculptor in hand so I could be banking my villager this turn. I don't like my action to be going to waste. I think I'll just take Duchy. I could activate Menagerie here if I wanted to do that. That comes with a very large risk that I end up villagerless for future turns, which is bad if I draw my Embassy and Wayfarer together. I want to have a villager there. Like if I sculpt Menagerie here and then draw a Sculptor, I'm fine, because then I can just regain the villager. So I think I'm going to do it. I know it's a little bit risky. But if I can find a sculptor, we'll be okay. So if we can find a sculptor, we'll be... God. Not only did I not find a sculptor, I didn't even find the, like, at least a terminal draw card. That's highly unfortunate. I guess I'm taking Duchy again. Yeah. Oh. This isn't good. Those bottom 8 cards have 2 sculptors and an embassy in them. So I seem exceedingly likely to be dead drawn some stuff this turn. I mean, the good news is I'm still sitting on a decent points lead and a big stack of coffers in a relatively simple money game. So I think I'm still at a suitable advantage here. But I did not like how these last few turns have gone. That's a lot. Thanks, Wayfarer. Those are the cards I needed to be in my hand. All that. Well, I'm buying Province here. The third to last Province seems really important to buy in a money game because it puts them in the awkward spot of not being able to buy the penultimate Province now. And then I shall acquire the penultimate Province, and then I think that should be decisive. This is also like a lot of good things missing the shuffle right here. Unfortunately. Yeah, screw you, Wayfarer. I don't even want to play you. We're not friends anymore. So I am 1 coin short of just winning outright. If I had 15, I could borrow and double Province. So I think we're just doing Province Duchy, and I don't see him coming back from that. Yeah, I think Sculptor's a good card. Gold, not so much. There's another one I would chalk up to a difference in choice of payload. Unfortunately, we're now going to be 2-2, which means this is going to be a long match. I would have liked it to be a nice, simple 4-0. And, I mean, if not that, well, maybe he could have had the decency to beat me 4-0. But now we're going to be playing at a minimum 6 games. GG. These kingdoms have just been incredibly dismaying. I'm really hoping for a nicer one here. Oh wait, he hasn't changed play order yet. I mean, game 1 had no trashing, but at the very least the sheepdog stuff was like of some interest. And then 2, 3, and 4 have all just been nasty, boring junk. All right, here we go. This looks, this one looks plausible. We got a lot going on here. We got Hideout as a village, as well as Lost Arts. You got Governor. You got Great Trashing with Chapel. There's Develop, Menageries Draw. Yeah, there's a lot going on here. Right, this is a pleasant change of pace from what those last few were. So, you can obviously build really big. One concern, of course, is, there's no plus buy unless piles run and then Animal Fair activates. And it looks a lot easier to me to gain provinces than to gain duchies here. Both Governor Remodeling Gold as well as developing Animal Fairs look like nice ways to get provinces. So while there's a big engine, there might still be some relatively strong incentive to green on the earlier side. What do you put Lost Arts on? IDK. I mean, you can put it on Governor, turn it into a village, put it on Menagerie. A lot of good targets. It probably just depends on whatever action you end up having. But Menagerie looks like a good draw. Governor can draw. Library maybe even comes up. Develop looks like it'll be good. There's 5, 6s, and 7s that all look relevant. I'm not that gold is itself a good card, but you'll get it very easily off of Governor, and then you can turn it into Governor Animal Fair, turn the Animal Fair into Province. All that sounds nice. How do we get there? I feel like opening Chapel seems really good here. You want to get thin so your Menageries activate, I would presume. Could be double Chapel, which gets you really thin really fast, and then they become Animal Fairs. Could be Chapel Develop. Develop is nice. It's a Menagerie gainer early on, which is, of course, a card that you want. I don't think Hideout looks worth opening. I think this is either a second Chapel or a Develop. Either way, the collision sucks. Which would I rather have if they don't collide? I think I'm going to say Chapel Develop. I mean, I like the idea of just getting super thin fast and going straight for the early Animal Fairs and all, but I also like the idea of gaining Menageries. Are there any attacks here? No, so Moat doesn't really block anything. I'm not sure if I'm buying a card here. I mean, I could buy a Moat or a Chapel, which, I mean, they're cards. They might have value, and they can be turned into Animal Fair in scenarios where they don't. Turning stuff into Animal Fair here is not trivial, though, because you've only got the 1+ buy, at least for a very long time. And so it costs more than it seems like, because you have to pass up on a buy to spend your buy doing the Animal Fair thingamajiggy. So do I want him? I'm going to take a Moat. I mean, even if it ends up being a junk card, it's a junk card that has a different name than my other junk cards, and so it will help Menagerie activate. If I bottom deck my Chapel here, which is 2/3 likely, I will be sad. How have their turns gone? So they open Chapel Silver. That seems okay. I'm not desperate enough to get to 5 ASAP to want the silver. But, oh my, yeah, it worked out for them pretty well. Turn 3 Chapel, trashing 2 estates is really nice, and they did hit 5. The library choice confuses me. That seems like they're over-terminaled now. Don't fully understand that. My Chapel, meanwhile, has bottom decked. So I'm behind. Trash some stuff. I suspect I'll end up with enough Menageries that Menagerie is probably the thing I'll put Lost Arts on. Seems likely. It's an abundant card, one I'm likely to play early on in my turn. Yeah, I don't get why they got Library over Governor. They don't have a village yet. Oh. Alright, well, gold is a card. You see, there's this card that costs less than gold and gives you unlimited gold. And that just looks like a much better deal to me. But who am I to judge? So I need a strategy for hitting 5. I'm not sure if I even have 5 money in my deck at the moment. That might mean I need to develop the Chapel into a silver. If I'm to reach the $5 price point. Actually, even developing Chapel into silver doesn't give me a 5, does it? I don't know what that last card is, but it's probably a copper, right? Pretty sure it's a copper. So if I develop Chapel into silver, I hit 4, which is not 5. I guess I could have gotten 5 if I trashed something else with Hideout, but that's probably not worth it. So maybe instead I simply turn this moat into another menagerie, and then I take an animal fair with the chapel. Then next turn, I trash copper with the hideout and play animal fair. Or I don't want to develop animal fair yet. It's too early for province. I could trash the moat with the hideout and then... No, I'm trashing the moat now, aren't I? I don't know. Do I want an animal fair, I guess, is basically the question. Maybe I actually just want silver more than animal fair, because it is non-terminal, which for the moment is a good thing. Unsure about this. I think I'll take the animal fair. The animal fair just seems nice. Perhaps I ought to have drawn the copper off the top. I mean, it seemed fine leaving it there because I want to try to hideout. But this is the flip side, which is drawing 2 coppers means my menageries don't activate. Maybe I just play Animal Fair, buy Lost Arts, put it on Menagerie, and that's all I try to accomplish with this turn. And then that means next turn, my menageries will be the villages, so I can just develop that hideout into like governor and a 3 cost, and then turn the 3 cost into another governor and go from there, and that just sounds nicer, I think. I like that idea. Province. Seems early to me, but you do you. Yeah, I think I like how this is going to turn out. The downside is if I'm trashing this hideout immediately, I do need to kill 1 more copper before my menageries are reliable. I'm not at the moment sure how I'm going about that. Yeah, so that bottom card is another copper, so I probably should not play this menagerie yet. So we turn the hideout into a governor for sure, and a... not a smuggler, there's nothing to smuggle. Maybe I just take any old random 3 cost, then I draw both, I turn that into a governor, I redraw. Yeah, that sounds fine. So I guess we will take smugglers. It doesn't really matter what the target is. And don't think I need gold super badly yet, so maybe just get rid of this copper to avoid dudding. Is Guildhall good for me? I feel like Guildhall might be good. I'll probably end up gaining a bunch of golds and then eventually emptying a pile, and that gives me a ton of coffers to work with. But is it better than just having another governor, I guess, is the non-obvious question. I mean, I could take Explorer, it's a silver gainer, and then I develop that into like Moat and Menagerie, or not Moat and Menagerie, Moat and Hideout, and then develop... How am I getting more 3 costs? I want the 3 cost cards actually kind of badly. And I actually don't have a great way to get those at the moment. I'll just take the Guildhall, I guess. We'll see if it does anything. Uh-oh. Have I allowed them to activate their menagerie? That's unfortunate. Okay. So I could remodel Moat into Hideout, draw that, turn the Hideout into a governor and develop or something. Draw that. I think that's going places. We do Explorer. Gain a silver. Turn that into a moat and a hideout. Play this. Take province. Not totally sure what I'm doing. I think I was ideally going to build a bit bigger, but they're just going for provinces. I don't want to get too behind on that. Like I said, getting provinces seems a lot easier here than getting duchies. I don't think I can win this turn, although maybe. It might depend on what they do. If not, I should probably set up for a win on the following turn. They don't have a whole lot going on in their deck, so I don't think it's a big concern. Alright, let's just see real fast if I can win. Explorer gain gold, governor 2 golds into provinces, develop animal fare into province gold, and then I would need to buy the final province. I have 2 coffers already. The explorer would gain me a 3rd. I would gain a gold off of developing animal fare. That'd be 6. I've got a copper, which is 7. It's seeming like I'm 1 money short there, right? Now that probably works out, right? So gain gold, turn those both into provinces, develop animal fare into province and gold, draw that. And then I've got 3 coffers, 4 coffers, a golden hand, and then a copy. Yeah, that all checks out, I think. So I should be fine. Plus, I've got a second develop, so I could also just like develop hideout into silver duchy or something and get 1 more coffer that way. But it seems like it should all be a-okay. Put province on top, then put gold, so that gold ends up being on top. I don't think it matters. So I guess I'm not sure if the guild hall was right there, but it has done a bit. So they're going to deliberate here about what to trash. I kind of just want to say, like, I've got the win at hand. It doesn't matter. But I shall not do that. Like, they could trash their animal fare into a province, but, like, I don't think that would actually help anything. Alrighty. 3-2. Ideally, just 1 game left. 8 provinces and 11 turns. Kind of typical for a governor game, especially with Chapel. Okay, game 6. What have we got? I don't like this. Well, at least we had 1 nice kingdom in there. But now we're back to mediocre. So trashing is fine. Goat is good trashing, and I mean mine or Flame's Gift off of Pixie can also trash. You got draw with Wayfarer plus buy, but there's no actions except, you know, 1 in every 12 Pixie plays will reveal Field's Gift, which is not enough to build a deck around. So it seems to me as though it is not going to be possible to build here. I mean, theoretically, you could build like a stack of will-o-wisps off of Pixie, and then pawns, and then play Baron as your terminal. But that doesn't strike me as being worth it. So if I had Goat in this hand, I'd be inclined to click Citygate, whose art is also not showing up for some reason. Because then that would trigger a shuffle, putting my Goat back on top for the next turn. But my Goat is not in this hand, and so I think I would rather not trigger a shuffle, so as to not cause that Goat to miss the shuffle. At the moment, I mean, like honestly, what this Wicked Kingdom is, the like will-o-wisp pawn engine with Baron as your terminal. It's not ridiculous. I could totally see that doing things, albeit slowly. I think just playing money with like, maybe you take a kiln and then buy 1 gold and then kiln the gold over and over. That sounds like it might be better. And then the Goat keeps you relatively thin. I do want to thin somehow. I mean, Goat's going to do that relatively fast, but I'd like to accelerate that. I don't know if that means taking a guide to cycle back to the Goat more often, or maybe taking a bunch of pixies to try to roll for Flame's Gift. I actually kind of like the idea of Baron, now that I'm thinking about it. I mean, I said Kiln for gold gains, but Baron gives plus buy, which is kind of nice with pixies around, because pixies is a nice $2 card to pick up. So I could see opening with Baron. The downside of Baron is it is otherwise very easy to trash your estate with Goat. I mean, even starting turn 2, you can trash an estate. And so either you keep estates around, which you don't want to do, or the Baron misses a lot. Citygate might actually mitigate that a bit. Like if you even though words are hard, even if you only have 1 or 2 estates, you can, move them from hand to hand with Citygate to maybe collide them with your Baron more effectively. I think I'm just going to open double Pixie. Kind of boring, but I'd love to get Flame's Gift. I would love to get thin. I'm not adding any stop cards, so I'm likely to find my Goat and play it often. And I don't know yet what my strategy is for hitting 5. We'll cross that bridge when we come to it. But I think I just want to hit 5, buy a kiln, hit 6 once, buy a gold, and kiln the gold a few times. Even if I don't get any good boons off of these, as long as I trash the estates with Goat, then I'm really likely to hit 5 at some point, because I'll have nothing but cantrips and coppers on my deck. So I'm guaranteed to hit 5 off a 5-card hand at some point. They went with mine. They had the 5. No, they didn't have the 5-2. They had the 3-4 with the Goat and the $3 hand. So yeah, like I was saying, Citygate, on turn 1 with Goat and your $3 hand looks pretty reasonable. And I mean, this early in the game, I can totally see mine being a reasonable thing to take there. Do I want Sun's Gift? I mean, it gets me through this shuffle, which is good because, my Goat is in this half of the shuffle. So I wouldn't mind skipping the next half. It loses me a Pixie, though. I'm not sure if that's worth it. I think I'm going to keep the Pixie. Moon doesn't look very useful to me. And maybe just 1 more Pixie. I think ideally I get Sea's Gift or something pretty soon, and then I pop that, I hit 5, I'll take the kiln then, and it should be easy to go from there. Certainly would not mind getting will-o-wisps early on either. Harbinger. Harbinger does not strike me as a good card. Your deck's going to be really thin. I think you're not going to have cards in your discard all that often. And you're passing up on Pixie, which just seems better. I'm definitely going to pop this. I think it'll get me to 5. And, I mean, worst case scenario, I could just buy back the Pixie if I decided otherwise. Hmm. I could take 3 pixies. I'm contemplating taking the gold first and then the kiln. The order doesn't make much difference because I have no use for the kiln until I have the gold as well. And hitting 5 is easier than hitting 6. So I think I'm going to take the gold now. And then next time we hit 5, we'll take the kiln and then good to go from there. You know it's a bad kingdom if I am buying a gold on turn 4. Ay, ay, ay. This set of cards does not inspire, to say the least. They bought a kiln. Yeah, that seems fine to me. I mean, they have 2 terminals, but they got City Gate, which can help mitigate the collisions. I think I'm going to trash that and not trash here so I can get the kiln into my deck. Bottom decking the goat is not what I wanted. I mean, it could be worse. I could have bottom decked the gold or the kiln. But there's a 5/8 chance of bottom decking one of these junk cards, which was the ideal. I think from here on out I'm just planning on greening. I just buy province whenever I can. It is only turn 6, but consider that this kingdom sucks and there's nothing to do. That's weird to me that they... Oh, never mind. I'm confused. I was about to say, if they had a copper and a silver in hand, why'd they mine the copper instead of the silver? But they didn't have that silver in hand when they were playing the mine. They got that silver from the mine. Obviously, if you had a copper and a silver in hand, you'd want to mine the silver into gold instead. Both because the gold's a better target for the kiln, and because the copper is a better target for the goat, whereas silver is an awkward middle ground card. On 3, I think I'd either buy Pixie or Guide. Probably Guide, I think, could like save you a dud turn in the end game. Might be better than Pixie, but I'm not sure. And then for me, I can also contemplate City Gate. I think I might actually not want to take City Gate here just because it triggers a shuffle I don't want to trigger. Down there I got exactly 5 cards with more than 8 money and a kill and 2 golds. I would love to not cause a shuffle that causes all of my good cards, except for the goat I guess, to miss the shuffle. So I probably shouldn't buy City Gate here. So I did just say I think Guide's probably better than Pixie for me now. So I'll buy the Guide. And there's a question as to whether to trash this estate. This is one of those scenarios where there's minimal gains. You could add a pawn or a baron or something for plus buy, but I don't really plan on it. And so having that 1 point difference might matter. It could be the difference between a win and a tie. So I think I'd rather trash the coppers with the goat than the estate, I think, at this point, all things considered. But then, you know, you might draw a hand like this, where trashing the estate is necessary for hitting 8. So we're trashing the estate after all. I mean, I guess I could trash nothing, but I can't trash the copper, because then I would hit 7. Looks like they missed 8 unless they have their goat in hand still, which is really good news for me. There is not remotely enough going on in this kingdom to make it possible to like overtake an early points lead by outbuilding it, I don't think. Oh, they do have 8 and just for some reason had not played a silver. That was confusing to me, but okay. And I am only hitting 7. I suppose I should take a duchy, because they're probably going to go up to 18 points next turn, and I want to maintain my points lead. So they province here, I duchy back. There'll be 2 provinces left, and I'll be up by 6 points, which looks good. I think I'm pretty likely to hit 8 next turn. Down there, I've got... one more copper, one more, so copper, province, duchy, kiln, and 3 golds. 3 golds. Copper, province, duchy, kiln, 3 golds. Yeah, it seems reasonably likely, albeit not guaranteed. Oh, I've also got this guide. I totally forgot that I got this. Yeah, I could just call this now. So if I call it and hit 8, I should just buy province. I've already got a points lead. Provincing back isn't enough for them to tie. And if I call it and it turns out I missed province, well, that's probably fine anyway, because that means I would have had a dud hand next turn. So I think I'm going to call the guide. This is 8. Alright. Now my guide just needs to draw me a treasure or a kiln. What are the odds of that? Those bottom 11 cards have 3 provinces, and I believe the other 8 cards are all money. Right? 2 coppers, 1 goat, 1 kiln, 3 golds, and there's something I'm not accounting for. I believe my bottom 11 cards have 2 coppers. Oh, did I not count the goat? Let's try this again. 2 coppers, kiln, goat. 3 golds. And 3 provinces is 10. I'm miscounting something. Maybe it's the number of coppers or... Oh, I have 4 provinces. That's what I'm miscounting. Okay, so it's a 7 out of 11 chance that I hit province here. I mean, even if I miss province, I think I'm totally won. Because I would just buy duchy. All right, GG's. That's my first match of the tournament. Had some thorny situations in the mid game there, but pulled through 4-2. Going on to the round of 128.